Hello and welcome. It's the third week of October 2025. We are just coming off of a new moon in Libra, which was on Monday, and today the moon is in Scorpio for the next couple days. So, Scorpio is moody, mysterious, curious, deep. So, it's a water sign, so you might be feeling all the feels. The moon is very slowly beginning to appear in the sky, just coming off of the new moon. So let's go ahead and check in with ourselves. It's been, again, just a very distressing week in the world. There's a lot of things that are stressing us out, I think. And this is a practice that works, that helps us notice what's there and be attentive and present to whatever it is we're feeling in a healthy and compassionate way, as opposed to stuffing our feelings with a bag of chips like I did 2 hours ago. Anyway, um, we all need this practice, is my point. So let's go ahead and get started by finding your comfortable meditation posture. And so allow yourself to be comfortable. That is the most important factor in your practice. One of my teachers says comfort is queen. So feel free to sit in a couch, a chair, cushion. If you like to sit on the floor, cushion or bench, feel free to lie down. If you are tired, and then if you notice any discomfort and you need to adjust at any point during the practice, please go ahead and do so. Just do so mindfully. I'm going to try to keep the practice today at 20 minutes. Sometimes that's hard, but we'll start with a nice slow entry to the practice by centering. And so just become still wherever you are. And then begin to notice whatever's going on for you right now. Noticing what it is that you might be bringing into your practice with you today from any experiences that you've had previously. And then notice the weight and shape of your body. And allow your weight to sink down into the support that's holding you here in your practice. And if you haven't done so already, you can close your eyes gently, softly, or gaze towards the space in front of you. Allow the belly and the heart to be soft, ready to embrace whatever arises with kindness and compassion. And we'll start with a little grounding in our centering practice. So you might bring your awareness to the soles of your feet if they're touching the floor. And then notice that connection of your feet to the floor. Something so very simple just draws your attention out of your head, out of your body, and down into the earth. And then guide your awareness to your seat, noticing where your body connects to the support beneath you. And then hold your awareness there for a few breaths. And just taking this moment to acknowledge that you are grounded and supported and safe. And you might also notice the room that you're seated in your practice and begin to sense the energy of that space that's supporting you as well. Also noticing the energy or presence of the surface beneath you that's holding you. Just inviting in this sense of safety, support, groundedness. And if you're feeling a little sleepy, you might want to just lift up through the crown of your head, lifting up through the spine, lifting up out of your seat, just creating a nice, tall, and alert spine in your practice. And you can still sit back in your seat back as well, just holding that nice, tall, alert spine as well. And then you might also notice the space surrounding your physical body. And you might tune into this boundary between the physical body and the space around you. Perhaps noticing how the energetic body expands beyond the physical body and into that space around you. And then we can begin to draw our awareness inward to the physical body. And so you might notice sensations of spaciousness and ease, where you're feeling comfort. And then you might notice areas of discomfort or tension. And if it feels appropriate, you can invite in a little softening to be a little more comfortable and settled in your practice. So you might soften the expression on your face, soften your eyes, loosen in the jaw, relaxing the shoulders down away from your ears, and letting your arms and hands rest easily in your lap. And just allow yourself to notice that you have arrived in your practice, that you've established this mindful presence in the moment with the attention to allow what's there to be there. And we'll begin to shift our awareness to our breathing. So it might help to start with a couple deep cleansing breaths. A nice long, slow, deep inhale through the nose, drawing the breath down into the belly, and then a long sigh out of the mouth. So you can do that a couple times at your own pace. And after a couple cleansing breaths, begin to settle your breathing in and out of your nose at its own natural pace. Allowing the breath to have its own pace, its own depth, its own rhythm. Letting it just meet the moment wherever you are. And then you might begin to sense the breath by noticing the air moving in and out of your nose. You might notice the rise and fall of your chest and your belly, or the gentle expanding and contracting of your rib cage. Maybe you feel it in your pelvis or anywhere else in the body that you can feel and notice the breath moving. And just take the next several rounds of breathing to just hold space to witness your own breath. And after a moment of quiet listening to your breath, you may have noticed that other experiences will come into your awareness and draw your attention away from your breathing. This is very normal part of the practice. It just means that you're human. And so these experiences might distract you in the form of some sounds around you, thoughts, sensations in the body, perhaps some type of emotion is welling up inside you. And so just continue to stay with the breath. You might just notice this other experience, acknowledge it, and gently come back to the breath. Feel each breath and let these other experiences rise and fall within the experience of your practice. This act of noticing and returning back to your anchor of the breath is the true act of mindfulness, and it teaches us, it trains the mind and the body and the heart to be fully present in the here and now. And so we'll continue to be mindful of our breathing. But at this point in the practice, we can begin to embrace any of these other waves of experiences as they arrive. And we'll do this in parts. So we'll hold space for each type of experience. So continuing to allow the breath to be your anchor, always witnessing the breath in the background. You can begin to invite in awareness of your physical body. And while we did this in our centering practice, we have another moment here to truly witness what we're feeling in our body. And so it might feel nice again to just hold space and witness for parts of the body that feel open and spacious and at ease, comfortable. And then you might also be experiencing in pain or discomfort or tension. And you can hold space for that as well, just noticing what's there. And allow these experiences to be noticed and witnessed with kindness, with compassion. And as you notice these things in the body, in between that, you might come back to your breathing and just witness the breath in the center of it all. And then we can begin to invite in and notice the activity of our mind in this moment, witnessing any thoughts as they come and go. All the while, the breath as your anchor in the center. And so, if thoughts come into your awareness, you might name those thoughts gently, planning, judging, remembering. And take a moment to hold space as the thought comes into your awareness, builds energy, and then slowly begins to subside and drift away, coming back to the breath in the center. Take the next few rounds of breath, just holding space for your thoughts. Now we can begin to invite in awareness of any emotional experiences you might be having in your practice today. Sometimes just noticing sensation in the body or witnessing your thoughts might stir up some emotion, and that's okay. You can hold that with kindness as well. And so, if you do want to take the time here to hold space for any prevailing emotional experiences you're having from today or even in this moment, you might name it. You might just say, I'm feeling something. And just as everything else, it has this energy. It comes into your awareness, it builds energy, and then it slowly dissipates. Nothing is permanent here. And so give yourself a moment to hold space for any emotional experiences you might be having in your practice or from the day to day. And so let's take the remaining part of the practice to just hold space for all of it, with the breath in the center as your anchor, for just maybe another 10 breaths or so, just holding your awareness with whatever is present right now. And then allowing yourself to come back to the breath in between each experience. And then let's release all of that and slowly, gently shift your awareness to the center of your chest, your heart space. I'd like to take a moment to hold space for some self-compassion and some gratitude. So you might notice in your heart if you're holding any tension within that space, and if so, just begin to invite in some openness and spaciousness. Sometimes it helps to place the palm of your hand right over your heart as well. And offer yourself some kind words. Offer yourself some compassion. And you might feel that compassion expanding outward from the center of your heart. I like to imagine it expanding and contracting with the breath. Inhaling, imagining that sense of compassion expanding outward into my whole body, maybe even beyond my body, reaching every cell of my being. And then on the exhale, gently contracting back inward to the center of my heart. And just notice that, what it feels like to offer yourself this kindness. And then let's begin to invite in gratitude as well. So you might be grateful for this day, this moment, this practice, and invite in anything else that you're grateful for today. And then slowly, gently begin to release the practice. Start feeling your body again. Notice where you are. Feel your body, feel the room that you're in. And then as you're ready, you can begin to flicker your eyes open. You can keep your hand here at your heart, or if your hand isn't there, maybe place it at your heart and gently bow your head down to honor yourself and your practice. And thank you so much for being here today. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, like the video, This just helps me a little bit on YouTube here. And we'll see you next time. Take care.